Could you take some time and just talk about the intersectionality, not just of issues and problems, because we're good at that, race, class, gender, but the intersectionality of movements, of freedom contentions.
I mean, movements have always had to be willing to do the work of coalition building, right? And so, but finding out who your allies are, finding out who you are aligned with as it pertains to your principles and your goals, and being willing to understand which social issues are interlinked. Which social issues are essentially just illogical hierarchies that harm all of us, right?
Yes,
and so if you're talking about gender justice, if you're talking about environmental justice and the way in which human behavior has informed the downfall of the physical planet, if you're talking about racial justice and the way in which racism and white supremacy has plagued not only this country but the world and what colonialism has meant, we have to understand, again, who we have to work with in order to meet our goals. So when you're talking about the intersectionality of identity, that's one thing. When you're talking about the intersecting kind of like a collaboration between different movements, we call that coalition building. And so figuring out essentially who our allies are and what the issue is at the root, right? This is what radicalism is supposed to mean. We call folks radical, and this term has been used historically almost as like as an insult, you know, you sound radical or you sound extreme, when really it just means like, what's the root problem, right? Racism, that's, historically you've had a lot of kind of political scientists and sociologists that have said that all of these illogical hierarchies like racism and gender injustice, sexism, and all of these kind of classism in this way, that they're all essentially, while they're different and they've showed up different institutionally, that they're founded and predicated on the same philosophy as like certain types of human beings being better or more capable of autonomy and self-governance than others. So the intersection of movements is figuring out which movements can fuse together to help each other meet these goals.
You know, I appreciate clapping. I mean, brilliant.